first got into surfing at about the age of 8, and it was back in Sydney, in Kurnell, which is near Cronulla, and my sister pushed me into my first wave. It was only quite small, only a wave about that big, but I stood up all the way to the beach, and I think I was hooked after that. Yeah, it's true. I grew up in Sydney, and it's a lot colder down there. The climate's a lot nicer up here. I moved up here probably about 20 years ago, maybe more, maybe 25, but just a lot of pro surfers have moved to the Gold Coast from Sydney and various areas in Australia and over the world. It's a perfect kind of training ground. You know, the water's warm, and even, you know, it's and there's a lot of surf. It's pretty consistent surf wise, and so that's, I think, what attracts it. And the more better surfers that are in the one spot, kind of the better you can, you better set your level at. Yeah, it's a surfing community up here for sure. You know, like guys like Geordie Smith from South Africa have moved here, and he's like one of the best surfers here, and Adriano de Souza from Brazil, the best Brazilian surfer at the moment, have all moved here, and they camp, and you know, we've got the Quicksilver Pro coming up soon, so people just kind of congregate and on the Gold Coast, all the way from, you know, Burleigh Heads to Snapper Rocks, and yeah, and so it's a community for sure within the. I live down here at Tweed Heads. Drambar is probably my local spot, and and then if it's too big there, I'll surf Snapper. But other than that, Burleigh Heads, and that's about my only 3 spots that I go to. Because I'm always overseas, so I'm not usually hunting down waves around up and down the coast, which we have got a lot of variety. But when I'm home, I like to just stick to my regular beaches. I wake up early in the morning. That's my favourite time to go surfing. It's usually about 5 o'clock in the morning, or actually whenever it's first light. It was as early as about 4:15, like in the middle of the summer, which was a few weeks ago. But now it's about 4:30. I usually wake up with the birds and go for a surf. And it's the same crew. There's about 6 or 8 guys out there, same guys, and they're funny. And it's always good to see them. Out there. Been away for a while, they'll ask me where I've been, and I got to tell this. Always got a story for them. Most surfers usually end up, at the best spot. If it's Burleigh or or Drambar or Snapper. I think surfing has changed a lot. I've seen a couple of generations. I guess I'm making myself sound old, but I'm 44 now, and when I started professional surfing at 15 years old, the tender age of 15, there was a whole different crew, and surfing's gotten a lot faster, a lot more modern. We companies have made, made it really big. They've marketed it just perfectly, and between Billabong and all the other companies, it's such a big, market now, and surfwear apparel, people want to wear it even if they don't surf. It's obviously a cool thing to do. I mean, it's a hard thing to do, but everyone wants to surf these days, and it's changed. It's gotten a lot larger. The surf has got a lot more crowded too, yeah, for sure. I mean, something that you got to deal with. It's always been crowded. On a general basis. I mean, if you wake up early, you can still find your own spots, and if you travel up and down the coast, you can get uncrowded waves. But on the hot spots, it's pretty crowded. Yeah, well, the Burleigh Breaker Pro was its first year last year, its inaugural year, and it was a fun contest. The waves were good, and I made it through a couple of heats. It was fun to surf back at Burleigh because they used to have the Burleigh Pro, and it used to be the Stubbies way back when I was young, and then it was like even the Bundaberg Pro, I think, and then Billabong had it for a little while, and it was based at Burleigh, so that was the spot. I mean, back then Snapper Rocks wasn't really that good. Snapper would be like, if the sand was good, Snapper was good, but that wasn't always the case. Burleigh was the most consistent spot, and still is. So it's great to be surfing back at Burleigh, and brings back fond memories for me.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's a great break, and And if the waves are good, it's going to be really, really good. The Quicksilver Pro will be starting up, you know, the Burleigh Breaker Pro is like a lead-up event to the Quicksilver Pro. And, you know, a lot of guys will compete there. Not all the big guns, but it's a lead-up event to the Quicksilver Pro, and, you know, that'll be happening in a few weeks' time. You know, world's best surfers in the world's best waves. I mean, you know, if they do get waves. But the last few years has been good. So it's on a good time of year. And the Roxy Pro girls, and they put on a really good show too. We're all getting really excited here on the Gold Coast because everyone's coming, and you know, when everyone comes to your hometown, I can always remember when I was on tour, which is only not so long ago. You're really excited at this time of year, and I still do. A lot of my friends, you know, like they have kids, and it's great to have your little boy or your girl running up and handing you your contest jersey, and, you know, or taking it back for you. It's just one of those things that's just really cool, and Jay got to do that, and I still compete now and then, and he'll be up there at the Burleigh Breaker Pro, and you know, it's hard now that I'm 44 and there's young kids, and Jay's like, you know, why aren't you doing airs, Dad? I'm like, well, you know. Yeah, well, for all the kids, you know, I mean, surfing's such a good sport to do, you know, because it's not like tennis or football or golf, you know. It's because it's unpredictable. It's always changing. It's always different. You never get bored of surfing, you know. It'll throw a lot of stuff at you, you know. It's very challenging. It can be really big. It can be really small. You got to really, you know, you always got to get out there, you know, surf big waves, small waves, you know, and surf a lot, because there's a lot of good surfers out there. Obviously put a lot of sunscreen on, you know, and just don't try and copy anyone. Just, you know, when you think you've got it, just keep on doing it and you'll get better.